Hi, and welcome to the Bookkeepers Podcast. I'm Zoe Whitman. I'm here with Joe Wood, and we're joined by Natalie Allen, who is one of the bookkeepers from our community. Hi, Natalie. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I think we're really good. We've had a really exciting morning. We had some sessions in our Bookkeepers Collective community, and we're excited to find out more about your business and what's going on for you. So, Natalie, do you want to start by telling us a bit about your background and how you became a bookkeeper?
Okay, yeah. So I kind of fell into it, really. My mum fell into bookkeeping for my dad, and then when I left school, I just went for work for them and felt like it was the obvious thing to do was to just follow my mum's role in the accounts department. And then I really wanted some qualifications behind me, so I did my AAT apprenticeship with them, and then I went on to do my ACCA, which took me a long time because I decided to have 2 children in the middle of it. So,
So what was the business that your parents were running?
and they ran a refrigeration company that fitted all the fridges and freezers into supermarkets.
Wow. So you had like some really good experience of working in industry as such, and then to go and be an apprentice for your parents, I suppose that was quite revolutionary back then. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, my son did it for us in COVID, but it was only because of COVID forced us to think about bringing, because schools were shut. I haven't heard of many people doing that. So yeah, what was that like?
I think I've always sort of wanted to have the qualification behind me, like just going and working for them just didn't seem right. So I wanted to feel like I was getting somewhere and doing something with it. So I went to night school and did my apprenticeship with them.
When did you become self-employed, Natalie?
So it was just before lockdown, actually. After the birth of my daughter, I was working in practice, and I couldn't stand having to ask if I could pick her up from school and go to the plays, just the usual thing, really. I used to feel really, really bad asking if I could pop here and pop there or go to an appointment. So I just felt it really just wasn't for me anymore. I just had to go and be on my own because I just couldn't stand having to ask if I could do things that I felt that I should be able to just do. So just before lockdown, I left that job, and I didn't really work much in the first bit of COVID. And then after COVID, I decided that it was now or never. I had to make this work.
You had your AAT and then ACCA. How and you went self-employed, so you had some practice experience. Did you get an ACCA practice license?
No, I went with the AAT in the end.
So in our startup Q&A that we've just had in the collective, this has been the chat we've been having about the fact that it seems still quite difficult if you don't have post-qualification practice experience to get your ACCA practice license. And then we was discussing that it was exactly the same scenario. I was speaking with somebody. She said that she is going to go and get her practice license for the AAT, but she was getting confused as to whether she can still have ACCA after her name, or if it's just that she's not allowed to call herself a chartered accountant. And all of this conversation, and we did a podcast 3 years ago about this, and it's one of the most viewed podcasts we have. This is still seems to be an issue for people. What was your experience?
Basically, I went with AAT because it was, dare I say, it's the easiest route just to get the license that I needed to hit the ground running. It didn't take very long to turn it around. I do have practice experience because I did leave industry and work in practice, but just the ACCA completion to get your license there's just so much needed. I found it all mind-blowing, and having just come out of COVID and think I just needed to get working. So it felt like the route for me. And I've always loved the AAT, to be fair. The information they give you, I've always found it a lot easier to work with. ACCA is a bit mind-blowing.
Yeah, I think you're like going through, I'm ACCA accountant and I would absolutely have loved my ACCA license because I worked so hard for it. But at the same time, I think that there is a sort of procrastination. I'm not saying you're a procrastinator, Natalie, but I think sometimes we see it in our community where people go and take lots and lots of different qualifications because they feel like that will get them ready. And actually doing the work is what will get you ready. So you need to have the fastest route to a license, and you get the option to change in the future if you decide it. You could pursue getting an ACCA license now if you wanted to offer additional services, but actually for like a micro entity, you can probably do most of what you need to do anyway under an AAT license.
Exactly. And exactly like what you just said, I really would love to have my ACCA back, because I worked really hard for that, and just to feel like it's just sat there now. So yeah, I haven't written it off completely, but one day.
So tell us about what you did to find clients right at the beginning, that bit after COVID. You're like, right, I just need a license. Did you have a client waiting for you, or what happened next?
I used to do my brother's bookkeeping and a few family tax returns and things. So as soon as I decided, it just really escalated from there, from both my younger brother's in the trade. So all of his friends that he worked with, I now do like their accounts and things. So you could say I had quite a few waiting, and maybe up to 10. And then it just went from there, really, word of mouth.
And what does your business look like today? How many clients are you serving, and what are the services that you're offering them?
Excuse me. So I'm got 30 clients at the moment, probably I think about 18 of them are monthly regular ones, and the rest of them are just like the tax returns. And I provide a service from end to end for most of them. So all the bookkeeping up to the year-end accounts for the limited companies, VAT returns. I really like to have clients that I just do everything for. I'm not keen on any of them touching anything. So I like to, have them all on zero, and for me to provide everything for them. And management accounts is something I'm really pushing for them to have.
Interesting. So we have lots of conversations about this as well. And Jo in her practice always sold like the full service, whether people took that or not, in terms of like management accounts, cash flow forecasting. And I think this is really vital, and probably the change we're going to see in the way bookkeeping and the industry is delivered in the future. Whether the clients that come to you, that you said the 18 of them that have the full service, did they come to you expecting you to do everything? And if not, how did you sell them into a monthly fee? Because I think when you think of a tradie, you might think, they just want to get it done at the end of the year, and they're happy to give you like all the bits of paper from the van. So I'm just wondering, like, how did you have that conversation?
I think mainly because they're VAT registered, a lot of those, actually all of the regular ones are VAT registered. So it was sort of a case of, you have to give me this information more than once a year. I do try and push the fact that if you want a once a year accountant or bookkeeper, then I'm really not the one for you anyway, because I don't understand why you only want to talk to your accountant bookkeeper once a year, like just to make sure they've done your tax return. So yeah, I guess for some of the like construction guys, it's not really the norm for them, but I haven't really had any pushback on it. So I think I've been able to make them see it's important.
And that's really like good with the, MTD, the income tax is coming, April 26th, and you having that relationship with them where you're already training your clients to not be once a year clients will really help you with that. Are you looking forward to MTT for income tax coming? Will it affect your clients? Are they do they hit the markers for that?
Yeah, so I think a few of the once a year tax return ones I'll have to grab hold of those. I think finally get them to talk to me more than once a year. I actually really excited about making tax digital, and then when they put it back, I was a bit sad, because I just think that they need to be doing this stuff anyway. They should be. Like, why would you want to run whether you're just a chippy or something, why would you not want to know how much you're earning all year? Because some of them do not know. This got one that they literally just turn up in January. So yeah, I think it's great, personally.
I suppose if you're just sat there waiting, if you're sat there waiting, hoping you've got the money to cover it, nice position to be in, like thinking like, it's all right, I've got loads of cash, I'll be fine. But actually, surely everyone wants to know that kind of information, and we've got to show people that we can get them prepared. So you became self-employed because you wanted to be able to do the things around the kids, and I get it, because I've got Christmas plays, and there's like a food tasting at school this afternoon for us. Like they're making chili or something. We've all got to go in last minute, by the way. You've all got to show up at school. Like that's the kind of thing that happens. That's the reality. How do you feel in terms of like managing your workload around family? Is it possible? Can you make a living that's comparable to what you were earning in practice when you're working around family?
Yes, I think absolutely can. I don't have so much of it now. My kids are a lot older now, so it is a bit easier. So I'm missing out on the plays and things. But definitely, when I found you guys and stopped charging hourly, then I realised that I could absolutely have the same money that I could in practice when I was working for somebody else. Go on.
And what else so when we first met you'd not had a great experience with, you had lost some confidence. And I think we all, doing that transition from career and then, and becoming a mother, that it knocks away our confidence, and then things happen at work and that knocks away, there are more things knocking our confidence down as adults than there are building it up, unless we like really work hard at it. And that's what we do together. That's why Zoe, like our job, we often say it's masked as sales skills, pricing, marketing, but really what we're doing is helping people to build confidence to create the life that they want, and their business is a tool for that. I feel like you've been on a really great confidence journey. Do you think it started with like repricing and realizing, and because that's a value exchange, isn't it? If you're feeling that you're doing a lot of work and not being paid for it, that knocks your confidence too, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you say, I have had a massive journey over the past 2 years. The ups and downs have been crazy. I don't really know how, but when I found the 6FB and just not charging hourly, it was like, I was like, wow, this is amazing. I can just like get Joe's add your pricing thing and put it into my Go proposal, and just went from there. And my confidence was sky high at that point, because I thought, yes, like I can do it. And then I don't really know, something happened. I think I come across a bad experience with a few clients and things, and it just really, I had a bit of a lull. But I've come out the other side over the past 9 months, and I'm back and thinking, like, I know my worth, I know I can charge this, and the people that don't want to pay it and things, I'm not interested in working with them anyway, because I've worked really hard to know the stuff to give them.
I love that you're like, no, you don't look like the right kind of client for me. If you want to work like this, I'm not the right person. And I think that takes confidence, because when we're growing a business and it's all about, oh my gosh, I've got to replace my salary or whatever, it's really hard to say no to somebody. But if you do, you protect your time, and then you make space for somebody else. And then you actually feel like, actually, yeah, I did the right thing. No one wants to be like 2 months in and thinking, oh my God, why did I say yes to that person?
Yeah, exactly. I've had when your phone, you see the name on the phone, you just don't want to answer it, and I just feel bad all the time. And then I just think, why am I doing this? Because I get to create what I want.
What are you doing at the moment, Natalie, to find clients? Because you said you got a lot of you initially had a lot of referrals. Are you working that network? Do you need to market yourself, or do people just come to you? Like what generally happens?
At the moment, or over the past of this year, actually, I've been using the social media package. So that has been working really well for me. And then I'm actually getting clients from a local accountant that is full. So she passes people my way, which has been really helpful as well over the past couple of months. So less referrals, less of my brother's friends. I think I've got most of those now. So luckily it's all
you've spent time speaking to, like, building your connections and being clear, I guess, with this accountant in terms of what you are looking for and making sure she knows and trusts you, so she wants to refer work.
Yeah, so she's just sending them over, and then I'm having a little chat with them and see if we connect, and then going from there. Luckily, the handful that she has given me, it's worked out really well.
And what is that relationship like? Are you taking on the relationship with that client as completely yours, or does she charge you as a subcontractor? How's that working?
No, it's just completely, she's literally just sending them my way. So I don't have much to do with her practice or anything. I'm not subcontracting to her. I think she's just at capacity.
And is she completing the compliance, or is it 100% your client?
100% to me, yeah.
And so for her, I'm trying to think, the win for her is that she's able to point someone in the right direction at the moment, and she's got a complete autonomy over who she decides to keep on for herself or who she passes over. So yeah, that's there are so many different ways that we can work with people. I was just running a session, and someone was saying, "Oh, I'm a management accountant, and I've been a management accountant for years, but I've never done the bookkeeping." And then there was a bookkeeper saying, "I know how to do the bookkeeping, but I don't know how to do the management account." And then they were like, "Shall we chat?" And I'm like, yes, this is it. And I think knowing that, and I think we've helped this, Zoe. We really have encouraged people to find others to that do the same thing and know that it can benefit, and it's not about treading on people's toes. And she's obviously happy with this relationship, and you're benefiting from this relationship. I've done quite a bit in the past where I would do the bookkeeping and pass the compliance back, and the accountant was thrilled that the bookkeeping was done to a standard. I mean, I used to do a full extended trial balance, and it was fully reconciled, and they'd be like, "Oh, this makes our job so much easier." So there can always be win-win in those kind of relationships. And I think we sometimes overlook always looking for brand new clients and businesses rather than people in our network that can be a great resource and refer us lots of work.
Yeah, it's getting to know people around here, and we're not in competition with each other. It's like a form of collaboration, I guess. But I just think there's no need to fear the rest of the accountants in the town, because we can all do it.
How would you, if you were looking for another accountant like that to be able to refer work to you, what would your steps be to making that kind of relationship? Like, just thinking of someone listening to this thinking that actually could work well for me. I wonder what would you do another time?
I think I would just reach out, to be honest, because I've got nothing to lose. Or she was only going to say no, or she won't pass them my way if she doesn't want to. So if you're at a networking event or something, and there is other accountants there, because let's face it, there is a lot of them at networking events, just have a chat with them and build a relationship. That's what I would do.
I think it's about learning to play to your strengths and knowing that someone else will have different strengths and her strengths. Obviously, she's great at marketing, but she's got too many clients, and that can be something that you can do, that you can mop up. What does the next, like, what are your goals? What are you looking for to achieve in like 2025?
In 2025, I would really like to push the cash flow side of things. That's my plan. Get a couple more clients on my higher standard service, and really help people with cash flow, because I think it's really needed.
And are you going to be speaking to your existing client base about that, or is this like selling it as part of one service to new clients as well?
Yeah, absolutely will be to my client base initially, because it's something that I do feel they could benefit from, and I'm not sure that they actually know that I do it or can do it. So
Okay.
that's first. Actually, I'm pretty sure they don't know.
And maybe they don't know what that actually means. Like, why do they need that? So are you going to approach that from like an education, like, here's something that could help you?
Yeah, exactly. And I was thinking the other day, there's so many conversations I've had over the past couple of months, even maybe about profit and cash flow. Like, they just really don't understand the difference. So I'm going to tune into that, I think, in the new year, and really push that learning for them.
Thinking about the clients that you have already, I wonder if there is some kind of workshop or masterclass you could run with an education piece, but that could be recorded and then you could follow up and send, so that you're leveraging your time to teach them all, which could be very much like, this is the difference between profit and cash. This is like your tax bill is building up every single day that you're earning money, and we need to be calculating how much that is so that you can put the money aside, and wouldn't you feel great about that? And this is how I can do it. If you want this service, you know, you can have it as an existing client. I'm offering it to existing clients first. That kind of thing would be kind of I'm just thinking, how do you sell something to existing clients, and then going forward, every conversation you have with potentially new ones, you sell it from the off.
Yeah, exactly. I really would like to, like you say, get a video going, send it out to them, let them know that it's here, and this is what they should be thinking about. And it still blows my mind that people don't know the difference, and they can't save for tax, but it's meant they don't know, do they? Because I don't know how to do what they do. So just keep reminding yourself that, I think.
Yeah, like, go back to basics all the time, because there will be new people listening who haven't heard the basics yet. So just keep repeating the message. In terms of a client who's worked with you, because you were talking earlier about moving from hourly rate pricing to selling, like, we call it gold standard service, like the best of what you offer, which includes your cash flow, etc. I mean, I always think that the best way to sell a bookkeeping service is not to say it's going to take me this many hours and I'm going to sit down on the seat and charge you this much an hour to do it. It's to talk about, when this is done, this is where your accounts will be, and you'll have clarity, you'll know how much tax to save, etc. When you've worked with clients, what kind of outcomes, because like this is about outcomes, selling outcomes rather than selling the features of the bookkeeping service, what kind of outcomes, what value have you given the clients that you've worked with? What kind of wins could, for a bookkeeper listening to this who's thinking, I don't know what my value is, I don't know how to move from hourly rate pricing to a fixed fee, what are the things that you draw on when you like remind yourself, like, actually I am worth it and I make a difference to my client?
Yeah, I think I guess a lot of my value, I feel, would come from like the zero, like tidying zero up and like letting them get in there and have a look at it and see that they can see, how much they've made or what their sales were and the profit, and just being organized, that they don't need to keep giving me those bags of receipts, because they've got it all in the app, and they can put it into Apron and things. So yeah, just I feel like what I give is them, they're being organised, and it's just peace of mind that it's all under control, because finances and all the bookkeeping does scare them. It really does.
Do you feel that you're that person that they can, it sounds like you like hold their hands, you sort things out, you tidy it up. It's a bit like very much being a parent. Yeah. Isn't it? It's like, I'm going to sort this out. Don't worry. When you come back, I'll make you a nice cup of tea. You have some dinner and you'll be fine. Okay. and that's the thing we need to sell to clients, but it's a hard thing because it's like intangible. And I think that's where lots of bookkeepers go wrong by saying, I'll do your bank rec. And it's like, well, what does that mean? What does that mean to my life? And it sounds that, you know, you care a lot, and actually someone else caring about your finances is like really massive, isn't it? Like actually caring and taking time and saying, I'm going to help you out with this. I think there's a lot of, because like you said, they don't understand it. There's a lot of fear that someone's going to, they experience the same that we do with the imposter syndrome, and someone's going to catch me out. I shouldn't be a business owner. How dare I run a business when I don't understand this stuff? So I think being that person, it's just like, it's okay. I'm going to sort it out for you, and I'm going to give you this clarity, and you're going to be able to see it. That is just so impactful.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've all been there, like where, I don't know, you've got a few bills to pay, you don't know where it's coming from, or you have no idea how much that tax bill is going to be, the VAT, all these things, just keeping it up to date. And I really like to keep them informed and let them know. I send them little snapshots at the end of every quarter of how things are, as I just try to think about what I would like to know if I didn't have a clue. Like, I always like to think of my best client as an electrician, and I have no idea how to do what he does, and he has no idea how to do what I do, so I just talk to him like he has no idea.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? It's like, if I was in your position, I would want to know this. So let me show you that. And then if you've got more questions, I'm going to learn from you what else you need. Or if there's something here that actually that you do know and you don't need that. But it's a conversation. That's where advisory, that's the crossover into advisory, isn't it? That conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just keeping them all informed, I think. Best I can do above the bank rec. Like when the bank rec's done, I mean, that's really exciting, but telling them is great as well.
I've loved learning more about your business, Natalie. I wonder if you can tell us about how people can connect with you and find out more about what you're doing.
You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn is up and coming. So yeah.
Lovely, thank you. Thank you so much. And thanks everyone who's tuned in today. We will see you next week for another episode of the Bookkeepers Podcast. Take care. Bye.
Bye.